Hello. In this video, we will take a look at how we could use Inbenta's inContact adapter. inContact is a partner with Inbenta. So if you're already using inContact to enable your customers to chat with human agents, then you can use Inbenta's chatbot to provide the answers first to the users before it gets escalated to your human agents. When inContact is integrated with Inbenta, you can even use a combination of human agents and chatbots talking to the user. Let's take a quick look at how the inContact adapter would work on Inbenta's chatbot. So this is Inbenta's chatbot. Normally, when a user asks a question, they get answers from the bot. But there could be times when there isn't content on the topic that the user is asking about, or there are certain user questions you don't want the chatbot to answer, and instead you want it to escalate it to a human agent. That way, your goal of making sure that the user gets the correct response and gets the help they need every single time, either from the chatbot or the human agent, or a combination of the two. Now, there are different ways or different scenarios when there is an escalation from the chatbot to inContact needed. Let's look at an example. Let's say the user wants to talk to a human agent. Can I talk to a human? The bot replies with, "Do you want to start a chat with a human agent?" Then the user picks yes or no. So let's say the user picks yes. The chatbot would first ask for some information that can be passed on to the agent. So for example, here the chatbot is asking for the first name. So I will type in John. The next thing that the chatbot asks for in this case is an email address. So the user types that in. And then the bot connects the user to an agent automatically. And since you already have inContact, the software for users to communicate with your agents, here's how the inContact screen looks like for the agents. The agent will get all the information that has happened on this particular chat so far, along with the name and the email address and anything that the user put in. So then the agent can type in and say, "Hello, John, how can I help you today?" And then the start of the live conversation happens with the user. When the conversation is done, the agent can end the chat, the live part of the chat. Once the agent ends the chat, the conversation goes back to the chatbot. At this point, the user can decide if they want to leave, if they're done, or they can continue the conversation with the chatbot. Even if they wanted to ask for the agent again, they could. So this was one of the scenarios of an escalation where the user explicitly asked for an agent. There are a couple of other forms of escalating from a chatbot to a human agent. One of them could be when the user types in or asks something that the chatbot does not understand, which means there's no content on that particular topic. The chatbot could normally say, "I don't have a good answer for this. Can you try to rephrase it?" And if the user tries to rephrase it and enters a different question, but the chatbot still doesn't have an answer for it, it can offer an escalation to a human agent. This is a configuration in Inbenta's SDK where you can decide how many consecutive attempts you want the chatbot to serve a response to a user before an escalation occurs. Watch how Inbenta's chatbot offers escalation to an inContact agent. If the user chooses yes, they can continue the conversation with the human agent. If the user says no, then they can continue the conversation with the chatbot. There's also another interesting scenario when the chatbot can automatically offer an escalation to a human agent. There could be certain topics which you would definitely want your user to start automatically talking to a human instead of the bot. An example scenario could be when the user says, "I want to cancel my subscription." Let's see what happens here. This is a scenario where you would definitely like to have a conversation with your customer to try to understand what went wrong and see if there's something that you could do to help the user and hopefully retain them as a customer. In this case, you can choose whether you want the chatbot to provide the process for canceling the subscription, or if you want the user to talk to an agent so they can understand the reason why the user wants to cancel the subscription and try to see if there's any last chance to retain them as a customer. At the intent level, we have a property where you can set up for users to be escalated from the chatbot to a human agent for certain topics. Let's look at the bot again. The user can choose yes to chat with a human agent. If the user says no, then he can continue the conversation with the chatbot. So these are the multiple ways to have a chatbot conversation get escalated to a human agent. 1, a user asks to talk to a human agent. 2, when the user enters questions that the chatbot doesn't have the answer for. Or 3, if there are certain intents that you have set up for the chatbot to escalate a conversation to a human agent. So that is how the inContact escalation with Inbenta chatbot works. If you are an inContact customer, we have the right adapter for you. Thank you so much.